and welcome to the channel. My name's Annalisa and today I have a book haul for you. My local library has a gigantic sale of all the books they no longer want because they're old or they've got more copies than they need or nobody wants them anymore. They put them all on sale every 3 months at very low prices from $1 to 25 cents. So I ended up getting 12 books for $7. Considering how much it would have cost to get 12 books new, I'm pretty pleased with it. This is the first one. Can you guess why I may have bought it? Can you guess? There's a cat on the front. It's even a tuxedo cat, which I had a tuxedo cat until recently. And they're very special to me. The tagline at the top reads, "They were supposed to be saving the world, not running a B&B where hell was one of the guests." I don't know what that means, but I guess I'm gonna find out. It's called Summon the Keeper by Tanya Huff. And on the back there's a mention of an Elysian Fields guest house, which makes me suspect there may be some Greek myth involvement. But yeah, I got it for the cat. There's this one, which I suspect was donated to the library. I don't know if they would have bought this 2-for-1 from Walmart, but it's H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, and I got it because I've never read it before, and people talk about it a lot in reference to like the history of science fiction, so I thought I should have it available, so if I'm ever thinking of actually wanting to know more about it, I'll have it right there. Should be interesting. Then what's this? Troll Fell by Catherine Langrish, and it has a very pretty cover. Looks like a little hole in the ground with magic coming out of it and trees over it with swirly designs on the trees. And then the tagline on this one is, "Legend tells of a secret kingdom and a hoard of gold," which sounds interesting. And ooh, a world of mysterious creatures, Vikings, and trolls. I love Viking stuff. But yeah, that was a cover by. Oh, by the way, I did have somewhat of a strategy for this time around. I decided, because it's very quick buying things at a library sale and everybody else is shuffling through next to you, it's kind of, there's a fair amount of energy. You're making decisions fairly quickly because you want to move on, because there's so many books you're looking at. You want to move on to check, is this the next book you're thinking about? Does this cover look good? Does this spine look good? And you want to make your decisions quickly, and you don't want to walk out of there carrying the entire library. So this time I had a method where if I was debating whether or not to buy it, if it was an unknown author, I checked if it was a female or male author, and if it was a female author I would buy it, and if it was a male author I wouldn't. I just have better luck with female authors. Then we have this very damaged, I can't even read that, The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan, because I've heard a lot about Rick Riordan and his work, and he's a middle grade author, at least this series is, and he's just a really great person. And also, from what I heard, a really great author. I follow him on Twitter. He's very good. And I really need to get into the Percy Jackson series. I've just been kind of nervous to do it because it's so popular, and sometimes I don't like popular books because they're overhyped. But I've actually heard things, like specific things about this. Not just that it's good, but like specific good things. So I need to start that at some point. And once again, it'll be easier to do if I own the book than if I have to request it. Then we have a rebuy. I bought this in another book haul like a year ago from the same library, and then we had a fire, and so it's gone now. And I bought the vast majority of my books, especially that I've had in hauls, because I have like video evidence that they existed. I have rebought, which I'm going to do a bookshelf tour in a little bit to show you them, because they're all shiny and new now. But this one I hadn't bought back online, so I bought it back in person. Oh, but one problem I came across with my whole buying things if I wasn't sure about them by female authors is that some people like to go by their first initials, so you can't tell what sex they are. So rude. So I took slightly more of a risk on this one, but I do have better luck with middle grade than adult or YA, so I decided to take a chance on this one. The cover looks good. The Brave Apprentice by P.W. Cantonese, and it's got a little boy facing a troll on it. The feel of this, the feel of the paper and the font and everything reminds me a lot of my favorite ever middle grade series. I'm looking at it. What's it called? Del Toro. It reminds me of that, so hopefully it'll be somewhere as good as that, but we shall see. What's the back say? 7 at one blow. That's what they say about the brave little tailor. He killed 7 foes with 1 blow, but no one can prove it's even true. Besides, that took place a long time ago, and the brave little tailor is now an old man. So what happens when an army of angry trolls invades his kingdom? Ah, so it's about an old man who used to be a hero, and then he's got this young apprentice. This young boy is his apprentice. Yes, this one was also from the middle grade section, and it's by a woman, and it's got a cool looking cover on it. It's called The Badger Knight by Catherine Erskine. Another point that made me want to buy it was that on the back you find out it's set in the 1300s, which is a time that I'm very interested in. I'm writing a series set in that time. Why did I choose that time? Because it was both during the Crusades and during the time that the Cathedral of Notre Dame had just been built. 2 things I'm very interested in. Now this one's a big chunker. There's the spine. This was from the adult section by Julie Zerneda, possibly. You can't see it on the front because the library sticker. I will be taking that off so I can take my Bookstagram pictures. I just got them at the sale yesterday, so I haven't had time. But it's got an interesting looking cover. It's kind of an old looking cover, like from the, it's like after the covers that are on like the original covers of the Dragon Riders of Pern. You know those covers? Tell me if you know those covers. But my mom had a collection of those. The way that fantasy and science fiction covers used to look, they were art, and they were usually featuring people in an interesting setting with interesting clothes. And there's just a very particular style to it, and this looks a lot like that but slightly more modern. So let's see when it was published, shall we? 2013. Oh, it might have been done in an old style on purpose to make it look old, because it does also have this this uneven ribbing sort of ripped looking paper, so it might have been on purpose made to look older than it is. So maybe it's kind of in the style of older stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. It's called A Turn of Light. One of the quotes says, "An enchanting and gentle fable." So that's kind of a point of interest, but not necessarily a recommendation. I really like to analyze stuff, so reading old fantasy and science fiction and seeing how it influenced current day, that stuff is really interesting to me. Then we have Terry Pratchett presents Miss Felicity Beadle's The World of Pooh. It's a Discworld novel. It says he presents. Does that mean he didn't write it? Oh, it's got one of the deciding factors of this one was the really cool, whatever these are called, first couple pages. Okay, he was assisted by Bernard and Isabel Pearson, whatever the heck that means. The biggest decider for this was that it's illustrated. I like the idea of Discworld. Spoof isn't my favorite genre, but I do like a little bit of it. Oh, what's this? It's a random bookmark from some library patron. I do love it when I find those. Those are a cool thing you get from library sales. But yes, the biggest decider was illustrations. I love illustrated books. And the Discworld things are fantasy, so. There's a dog! There's a little dog! Oh, he's cute. What's this? The Assassin King, which this is what I'm talking about, the old type of covers. They look like this type of illustration. And it's got a badass lady on the front who's not being sexualized, which is medium rare on the old covers. But she looks awesome. Oh, she's got thigh-high boots. I didn't even notice that particular point before. Yes, I love them. Oh, and there's a dragon, and it's by a woman, Elizabeth Hayden. It says it's the newest tale in the best-selling series Symphony of Ages, so it's not a first book. So if I want to get into the series, I'll need to request that. I love this illustration. So totally my thing. If I were better at painting, I could have painted that. Oh, this is Smoke. Once again, guess why? Guess why I bought this? It has a cat on the front. It's by Mavis Jukes, which I think is a girl's name, but it's got a cat on the front. I got this in the middle grade section, so it was an easier grab. This one was a total cover buy. Look at that. It's beautiful. And it's also embossed. This part, yeah. There's shiny bits, and it's also textured, like where the little rose designs are. It's indented. Endymion Spring by Matthew skeleton, and the tagline is "Open the book that unlocks." So it's probably heavily involves books, which is probably why it's got such a nice looking cover on it. And then that's the title page, and so it's got like an illustrated book there, which, as I've said, is one of my favorite things. And once again, it's got this uneven pagey things that they like to do when they're being fancy. Now see, when I looked at this picture, stay on this jacket. When I looked at this picture, I was like, he looks kind of English. He apparently is kind of English. Says he grew up on both sides of the Atlantic, but found himself staying strangely drawn to Oxford. And some of it has this stuff along the top and bottom, and some of it doesn't. Where's the part that doesn't? This part doesn't. And then there's another one of those pagey thingies. Where's it go? Here, another one. And so all of those got for $12. Very pleased with myself. So thank you so much for watching. If you read any of these books, I'd love to know your thoughts. And what methods do you use to quickly decide whether to buy a book or not, if you ever are in that situation? Covers, authors, taglines, specific things on the covers like cats. Love to know. See you in the next video. Bye.